Boom. Life is hard. Work is hard. Dating is hard. But we'll talk about all of these in a little bit. Welcome to another episode of Self-Employed Success Secrets Weekend Edition with me, your host Marcus. On today's episode, we're going to talk about hard work. We're going to talk about hard work, okay? Basically, we've all been taught this. It's kind of a shibboleth in our world is that hard work pays off, okay? I'm going to tell you something, that's not always the case, okay? Usually, hard work pays off, but not all the time. But we'll talk about that as well as we get into the meat of the video. But on today's video, we're going to talk about how hard work usually ends up turning into something that's very meaningful. And in other words, hard work, hard worth, okay? Also, too, stay tuned for the very end for a surprise. Hope you get some enlightening information in this video. Now, the aim of this video is to help you, a fellow compatriot, deal with hard. Because remember, people who can successfully deal with hard end up getting what they want, okay? So we got to be able to deal with hard. In this video, you're going to learn how to deal with it better, because most people are asking themselves, why is this so hard? We're going to talk about a better question to ask, okay? Have a good, hope you're having a good Saturday, and stay tuned. So let's go back and talk about those three things we talked about at the beginning of the video. Life is hard, work is hard, dating is hard. If you notice, there's a common thread between those three things. The common thread is that in the future, they're all worth something. Remember, the worth of something is based on the end result, okay? Like, for example, let's just talk about life, okay? Let's say you're a young person and you're just starting out in life and you're thinking to yourself, okay, what is life? I think a good definition of what life is it's a potential collection of experiences, or a potential collection of experiences that are enlightening experiences and endeavors, and hopefully exciting and exceptional and enjoyable end results, okay? That's what I think life is. But at the end of your life, when you're 80, you're gonna be thinking, you take the potential out, potential's gone. What could be is gone. It's just now what is. You want a collection of enlightening experiences and endeavors, and hopefully enjoyable and exceptional end results, okay? And that's what I think life is. It's worth a lot, so keep that in mind. It's worth the pain and the suffering. Usually what I've learned, just kind of tacit knowledge, is that something that's hard, that's worth something in the future, it's usually worth about 3 times what you put into it. So keep that in mind. Next is work, okay? Work is the core of somebody's life. It shapes and kind of guides what happens with the rest of it. Okay, so that's another reason why work is so important. What you do for your paid employment is so important, because it determines so many things, okay? Just keep that in mind. Now, next is dating. Dating is worth it. The result, remember, hard work, the worth is hard, because you're going on an adventure to potentially be with someone who changes your life and you can share the bulk of your life with. So that's pretty important. So that's why there's a resistance around all these things, and especially with life. Life should be a compendium of getting things done and having fun in that order, okay? So just keep that in mind as we go to the next part. Now, I want to talk to you about 3 things that are really hard. They're hard work, but they're not really worth. They don't have a hard worth, and one of them is arguing, okay? You ever notice how much time and effort and energy goes into arguing with someone? Remember the past things that they've done, or trying to find ways to just undermine their argument? It's a waste of time, and arguments just end up with nothing good really happening. The next is keeping up appearances, okay? Keeping up appearances takes a lot. Like, for example, my parents, they lived in a house that they couldn't afford, and it was just to keep up appearances, okay? So those are 2 things that take a lot of effort and take a lot of pain and suffering, but they don't end up in anything good. Okay, and the third one is chasing people, okay? As they say, there's 2 things in life you never have to chase. There's true friends and true love, okay? So don't spend time chasing. It's one of those things that you have to put a lot of effort into, but you get nothing from. Okay, especially a lot of companies that waste a lot of money on advertising because they're chasing clients, and you end up just wasting a lot of time and a lot of money. And think about, if you're chasing something, that means it's eluding you. So you should just be so good that people come to you. That's the goal. That's the goal with my business. Is I don't advertise really at all, except going to events and just talking to people, and that's it. So don't chase people, don't argue with people, don't keep up appearance. These are things that take a lot of work, but do not have a hard worth. Okay, so that's, you gotta be discerning when you're doing these things, because not everything that's hard work has a hard worth, but a lot of things, I would say most do, but you still have to analyze and look at things that don't have a hard worth. So this goes to my next point. The crux of this video is that most people, when they're faced with hard things, they ask themselves, why is this so hard? Now that we just talked about the hard work and the hard worth portion, a better question to ask, what is this worth? Okay. What is me having this business worth? What is me moving to another side of the country worth? What is me going to school worth? What am I going to get out of it? What's the enjoyable and exciting end result? Remember, that's what life is. Okay, hopefully your life is a collection of enlightening experiences and endeavors, and hopefully enjoyable and exciting end results. That, I think, would be a good definition of what life is. Okay, so ask yourself, is it worth it? Okay, a lot of things are not going to end up being worth it, but a lot of things are. Okay, so if it's worth it, ask yourself, when you're in the thick of something difficult, ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Not why is this hard? Why is it hard? That's a futile question that leads nowhere. If you ask yourself, why is it worth it? They'll be like, it's worth it because I have financial freedom for the rest of my life. Or it's worth it because I'll be able to learn new things that'll change me as a person. Or I'll be able to help people. That's one cool thing about having a business, that you can help people in a way that you can't with the job. Okay, so keep this in mind as you're living your life. Remember, if something takes a lot of hard work, it probably has a hard worth. And so don't get discouraged when it's difficult, because it's worth something, okay? So, and lastly, on to today's surprise, is time tells the truth, okay? This is a very important thing to know, because over time, if you're trying to assess the worth of something, or whether someone's telling the truth, or whether, something's a good option to do, seeing things happen over time, you'll see the truth about things. Time always tells the truth, and time exposes or promotes you, okay? So understand that. Use your time wisely because of these three things. Time exposes or promotes you, and time tells the truth, okay? So time is very important. And as they say, time is nothing, but timing is everything. But we'll talk about that in a future video. But hopefully you got some out of this. If you're working hard, you're going through a lot of hardships right now, go to the end, reside in the end, and ask yourself, is it worth it? If you think it's worth it to you, go ahead and finish that, okay? Finish that drill, finish, okay? Put a period on it, and be done, move on to the next thing. If it's worth it, do it. Suffer through the pain, okay? Remember, you suffer your way to success, okay? If it was easy, everybody would do it. And lastly, as always, unsuccessful people make decisions based on their current situations. But successful people, you hopefully make decisions based on where you want to be. Understand that you can win, that if something is hard work, it probably has a hard worth.